Hello and welcome to another 5K tennis discussion. Welcome to show number 95. Today is Friday, June 28, 2019, and this is our 1 year anniversary.
Yes! 1 year. We started the show a year ago. Well, you could say today. I think calendar day, maybe not. Maybe a day or two off. But it was when the draws came out prior to Wimbledon last year. Show number 95. Let's go. You got that in Spanish, Carla?
Hola y bienvenida a otro programa de 5K Tenis, otra discusión. Hoy es el 28 de junio, viernes, y el primer aniversario de este programa. And I probably said that backwards, but that's all right.
Let's get this show on the road. Anniversary show. By the way, Wimbledon draw day is one of my favorite times of the year and has been since I was a very young boy. I can remember watching Becker and Edberg play, and man, the Pete Sampras in his prime, and those on video long before that we studied as kids growing up in the game.
Do you remember when NBC used to show it, and it was like after The Price is Right, and then remember the song, and then you would see the grass and everything, and you get excited. You're like, yes, I'm watching this on the local channel. I don't even have to have cable for this. Yeah,
with the classic commentators and the old TV that you had to turn like this, and then get your rabbit ears and hone in on.
I used to get excited.
So this is my favorite time of the year, one of them, and this is my Wimbledon celebration hat, and this was supplied by one of our 5 kids, our 6-year-old Gabriella. So I decided to wear it or the sombrero. I have sombreros over there, and I was going to wear a sombrero, but it was too small for my head. I could grab the sombrero, but man, I have to trek across the whole place. So we'll leave the sombrero out and maybe use it for a tournament later this year.
How do you like the way he looks, guys?
It's all good with me. I'm happy as you can be. You know what I mean? Put on the Christmas hat or holiday hat or whatever hat. Celebration hat. All right. You ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Wimbledon draws are out. We are going to have a lot to talk about. We are going to go ahead and announce our fantasy team selections. We are going to announce our tennis racket giveaway selections, at least for our finalists and winners. And we're going to break down the draws at least a little bit and hopefully involve all of you in that. So let's jump right in without delay. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's always appreciated. And you can catch up with Carla and I on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email. And you can see all those links in the description field below by expanding the down arrow near the title area, I think, and you can see those links there and can click on them and get directly to us that way. All right, jumping right in. Let's begin real quickly, Carla, with our fantasy team selections for our YTEX Strings and Apparel giveaway, which can consist of 2 sets of string, a 5K tennis shirt, or a YTEX shirt. We actually have a couple YTEX jackets. I think they're men's larges, so keep that in mind.
Different colors.
Different colors.
Women's, if you guys, something doesn't fit you, you have a lady in your life, well, you can give her a shirt.
Exactly. Got to keep up with those ladies.
And ladies, I mean, where are you?
There's
I'm sure there are ladies out there that play tennis or watch tennis.
Yeah, we had Kia Sama, and we had Sister DeQueen, and we had one young lady in the
Margarita.
Margarita, yeah, she's got a big time bet come up. So there's some out there, but maybe not as vocal as some of these guys, but that's good.
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to start with is a quick recap of how these fantasy teams work. You must select 8 women's players and 8 men's players to make fantasy teams, so a total of 16. However, you can only have 5 men in the top 20, and you can only have 5 women in the top 20. The rest of them must be outside of the top 20. Whoever has the most points at the end of Wimbledon, you get 1 point per player, will ultimately win the YTEX or 5K tennis gear or strings, and there will be 2 winners this major for the first time. We've always just had 1. Now we're going to have first place and second place. Same thing. Top two winners win. Okay? We will be competing with you. All right? Here we go. Let's look real quickly. Oh, by the way, the submission for these teams must come on this video in the comment section, or you can leave them with us on some of those personal links that we just told you about. So we get a lot of people that will submit their fantasy teams on Facebook Messenger or on our 5K Tennis Facebook or on Instagram, etc. So just make sure we get them before the first ball is struck. Once the first ball is struck, it's over. You're locked in. Also, if you have a player that pulls out, you will use the lucky loser as your player. We tried to get around that last year, but because of different times, our last tournament, but because of different time zones, some people got left in the dark and some did not. So lucky losers will be your player. All right, Carla, real quickly, who is on your fantasy team on the men's side?
I have Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Alexander Zverev. That's right, I picked him. Martin Fucsovics, Stan Wawrinka, and Sam Querrey.
Good, solid team. I think there's some risky picks there, and we'll get into those picks as we look at the Wimbledon draws here shortly. My fantasy team is, here we go. I have Novak Djokovic, 1 seed. I have Roger Federer, 2 seed. I have Karen Khachanov, the 10 seed. I have Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 7 seed. I have Marin Cilic, the 13 seed. I have David Goffin, the 21 seed. I have Stan the Man Wawrinka, the number 22 seed. And yes, I'm doing it to myself once again. I have the mighty, but not really, the supermodel himself. That may need to hit up, Calvin Klein? Gregor, the slumping Dimitrov. All right?
You know, a lot of your picks, I have losing actually pretty early. So that's pretty funny.
Look, I think Djokovic will get through the Cole Scribers and the like. I think Federer's got a fairly workable draw. Karen Khachanov down in that section, I think is a better gamble than a sense, if I remember correctly, and we'll get into it, than Raonic and Wawrinka and Anderson all jumbled up in a stew. So I just went with Khachanov down low. So that way, look, this draw, by the way, is men's top heavy on the top half of the draw. It seems to me that the top half of the draw, and we're going to get into it with Djokovic, obviously, Djokovic's top has got a lot of high quality tennis players. Not that all of them are not, but it seems like the gist of them are up there. 6 of my 8 men's players are in the top half. So I figured I would go. I know I'm going to lose a lot of players come second week, but
you will lose a lot of players. You could possibly lose in the first week. You could lose Cilic. You could lose Khachanov.
But I think on the bottoms half of the draw, any of these players can lose on any given day. I think the ones up top, I'm going to start losing them quickly second week. But I think if anyone is picking a lot on the bottom half, I think you're in jeopardy come round 1. I think my picks are safe into week 2, so that was my strategy. And if it doesn't pay off, it doesn't pay off. But I didn't want to say jump down bottom to, and I forget, we'll get there, and just risk a first round or a second round loss. I think I'm safe with my picks for the most part till week 2 for point accumulation, but I think after week 2, then I'm going to be in trouble. So my hope is to get a big early lead and then ride it out. All right?
I think I'll do better than you.
All right, Carla, who is on your women's team?
I have Karolina Pliskova, Serena Williams, Petra Kvitova, Ashley Barty, even though I really want to pick Bencic. Really, I should switch it to Bencic. And Madison Keys, Sofia Kenin, Azarenka, and Danielle Collins.
Read that off one time quickly because you confused me on that Bencic deal.
Karolina Pliskova, Serena Williams, Kvitova, Ashley Barty, Madison Keys, Sofia Kenin, Victoria Azarenka, and Danielle Collins.
Good team, but I'm skeptical on Collins and who was the other one?
Azarenka?
No, Kenin and Collins. I'm skeptical on Kenin and Collins there.
I think they'll do well. This is grass is like hardcore. It's close to it. It's fast. I think they'll play well.
I think it's possible that Collins and Kenin go out in the first round.
No.
It's possible. I think Collins could go out in the first round for sure.
No.
Kenin might win a round, but I think they're both out after round 2.
No.
But we'll see. My women's team. Here we go. Are you ready? Belinda Bencic. I picked her up. Serena Williams. Kvitova. Pliskova. Osaka. Muguruza. And for the first time ever on fantasy team selections for me, and it's been a long time, and she hasn't been around that long, so I guess it kind of evens out, but Sakari And in the 8th spot, I have Victoria Azarenka. So I have Bencic, Serena, Kvitova, Pliskova, Osaka, Muguruza, Sakari, and Azarenka. Boom!
Too bad for him. He's gonna lose pretty quick.
Heavy hitting in here. What?
I think he's gonna lose Osaka too. First match.
All right. So best of luck, everyone. Again, we put ours out there. Like them or not, they're locked in. Make sure you get your picks in by the time the first ball is struck on Monday morning, London time. All right. So best luck to everyone. Next up, real quickly, is our tennis racket giveaway. I don't know if I can reach this. I can. Tennis racket giveaway. Wilson Burn 100S countervail with the 16 by 18 string pattern, the more spin-friendly version, 4 1/4 grip, and I will freshly string it with your choice of YTEX strings. Here's a couple sets here. My wall's covered with them. That's what we use inherently. My son used this for a few months, a couple little paint chips, but no cracks, very good condition outside of the paint chips. I'll put an overgrip on it for you. It'll be completely set. And the way you qualify to win this, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and then predict the 2 women you expect that will meet in the final, and predict the 2 men that you expect to meet in the final, and then predict the winners of each match. If you get 3 finalists, that's the minimum. If you get 3 finalists and predict 1 winner, you win the tennis racket however you want it set up. If there's a tie, we will find a variable like who was your 4th player, or something along those lines. We'll break the tie, but that rarely happens. This does occur. We have multiple viewers over the years that have won tennis rackets from us. Arvis Jagamire, I think, is one. I think Milo Snenger is another. And I may have
Milo never got a chance.
Was it Tono? We sent one.
It was Tono.
Tono. So we've sent out a couple of them. So what we're going to do real quickly is Carla is going to, I'm going to toss this on my racket bag over here. Carla is going to go ahead and tell you who her predictions are for the men's and women's finalists and the winners, and then I'll follow suit.
I'm sure that 99% of the world is going to pick Djokovic and Federer, and of course I have to pick Federer. I'm not going to pick Djokovic to win it.
Okay, so your men's is who?
Federer the winner.
Federer, Djokovic with Federer winning.
Yes.
Okay, who is your women?
Serena and Pliskova and Serena Williams winning. You guys know I'm going to pick Serena.
All right, so you have Federer, Djokovic with Federer winning, and Serena and Pliskova with Serena winning. Mm-hmm. Mine was a little bit more difficult. I do have Federer and Djokovic in the final, and I was going to pick Djokovic to win it. However, Carla, quote, well, you're not a true Federer fan if you don't pick Federer. Is that true? If I really think Djokovic will beat Federer, does that mean I'm not a real Federer fan?
Yeah. The only reason I didn't pick Nadal is because I would never really pick him in grass. Ever.
So, look,
no, but you can pick Djokovic.
I mean,
it's fine. You're going to go with a safe bet. Djokovic is a safe bet.
She made me feel like kind of a sellout when I'm a diehard Federer fan. So, I'm going to go ahead and go with my fanhood, I guess you could say. I mean, I accept that. So, I was going to say Federer, Djokovic winning. But because she tested my manhood, or called me yellow, or chicken. Okay.
So
what movie was that?
Back to the Future. You fell for what Michael J. Fox fell for.
So, yeah, she called me chicken. So, okay, I'm going to jump on my, I guess, ego a little bit, and I'm going to take Federer. So
how can you pick Federer for clay and not pick him for Wimbledon? That's kind of just kooky to me.
All right, well, call me out again if you wish, but that's fine. On paper, when I did the draws this morning, I had Djokovic winning it, but because of her calling me out chicken,
but if he loses,
we spent enough time on this. You called me out, and that's all right.
But if Federer loses, don't tell me, oh, I should have gone with Djokovic.
My picks, here they are. Etch them in. Boom, boom. Locking them in. Federer, Djokovic, with Federer winning it, even though I think Djokovic will win it. Just saying. But on this racket giveaway, competing with me, yes. She's calling my bluff. Federer, Djokovic, Federer, even though I think Djokovic will win. On paper, Federer, Djokovic, Federer. Women's final, Petra Kvitova against Carolina Pliskova or Pliskova with Kvitova winning. So I have Kvitova, Pliskova with Kvitova winning.
All right.
Correct? All right, make sure you submit your selections here or any of the other locations if you don't wish to do them here, and those picks will lock on Monday. Remember, if the if someone pulls out. I was risky with Kvitova. We know she has a slight nagging injury and pulled out of some early grass stuff. So I may regret that, but I still have enough faith in Petra Kvitova to get through. So we'll see, but I do have the maybe injured Kvitova, maybe rusty Kvitova winning it all. All right? All right, lastly, to wrap up this aspect of the pre-Wimbledon show, a few bets that are on the table right now to remind all of you, or in case you're new to this channel, we always try to do fun bets or something, slightly humiliating and still kind of fun and professional. Funny stuff, and involve all of you in it, or in the bets before each major. So over the past year, Carla has painted herself up. I'll try to find a link and stick that above at around 15:30 or so. I have worn a dress. I'll try to find a link for that at around 15:45 and stick that above once I get to editing this. And Rajesh Kumar has held up a Rafael Nadal sign, and I'll do a third link for that at around 16 minutes, somewhere in there. So I'll put 3 links up, and they're all kind of fun, so you can see what we kind of do. But we have a really exciting bet that came in just the other day, and this is between Rajesh Kumar and Margarita Martinez. Okay, homegirl stepping up to the plate. So they have a $100, I'm assuming US dollars bet, and the way it pays out, if Novak Djokovic wins Wimbledon, then Margarita Martinez must pay Rajesh $100. Okay. If, however, Rafael Nadal wins Wimbledon, then Rajesh must pay Margarita Martinez $100.
I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Let's go!
Mm-mm.
Yes! What?
That's a risky bet, Margarita.
Big time! Big time! Big time! Let's go!
Yeah, I wouldn't bet that, no.
That became the #1 bet for this tournament so far.
Don't you have a bet too?
I do. We have a couple. Bet number 2, Carla bet me that Taylor Fritz goes farther than Nick Kyrgios. By the way, in the first round, Taylor Fritz starts with one of the coulda, woulda, shoulda, or the players that should have won a major but never did.
I have Taylor Fritz.
I think made a Wimbledon final against Nadal.
Yes.
With the likes of Racquet. Didn't Racquet go to a Wimbledon final against Nadal and lose that one?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Something like that. Anyway, Taylor Fritz starts out with Thomas Berdych.
He can beat him.
And Nick Kyrgios starts out with Jordan Thompson.
He can lose that.
I say Fritz goes down.
No, I think Kyrgios will go. And even if they both were to win their next round, the second round is tough for both.
Taylor Fritz is not going to beat Tomas Berdych.
Yes, he will.
Do you want to? We can't even bet on top of the bet.
You can't bet on top of the bet. He will. That's the whole point of the bet.
Poll question: does anyone out there think that Tomas Berdych is going to lose to Taylor Fritz?
Yes.
Whatever. You're going to get like 0%. Here, I'll put a poll on that thing.
He's not the same player as he used to be, Justin.
What time is that? About 17 minutes and 50? I'm going to stick that
Come on,
up
I'm
there.
going with Taylor Fritz.
Shoot. Out. Didn't pass the bonus round on that deal.
Okay.
The next bet. Carla bet me on another one. That Amanda and
I didn't really bet. You kind of threw me in there.
No, you shot from the hip. You shot from the hip, started talking, and you forgot to think before you speak. And then what happened is you spit out a whole bunch of just incredibly ridiculous thoughts, and I called you out on it. You accepted the bet. You shook on it. It's over. Bet's in.
And I could still win in this one.
Carla bet me that Amanda Anisimova would go farther in this tournament than Ashley Barty.
That could happen.
She could. Barty could lose in the first round to Saisei Zhang, because that's a good match. But Anisimova starts out with Sorana Sirsti, the Romanian.
She'll win that. That's a veteran. That's not going anywhere.
And Ashley Barty starts out with Saisei Zhang. Both good players. I think Sirsti has a better chance of beating Anisimova than does Zhang beating Barty. Okay? Bet number 4, Peter Dijkstra in Sweden bet me, and I took the bet that Roger Federer would not win Wimbledon.
See, how can you then not pick? See what I'm saying?
Because I took the bet for the fun of the show, not because I was risking my life on it or something.
Well, you're like, I call anyone out. Watch that show. I call everyone out.
But that's this is a competition. We're doing the fantasy stuff. We're doing the tennis. I'm competing. That's like playing someone on the tennis court. I'm sorry. This type of competition, I'm winning. I'm winning. Let's go. And then we can shake hands and all that stuff.
So that means you think Federer will win if you made that bet.
Well, you called my chicken yellow or whatever it is, so I had to do it. So
You said it before me calling you chicken. So
you rattled me on the court, and I dumped the ball in the net. And instead of just trying to get back to what I was doing, I kept dumping balls in the net, and I bought into her chicken yellow. All right. Bet number 5 and last one. Ethan DA in New York. What's up, Ethan? Bet Carla that Naomi Osaka would go farther in the tournament than Serena Williams.
Not a good draw for her, by the way.
Osaka starts out with Potty Mouth Putintseva, who, by the way, we just had a picture sent to us from Michael Figgins.
She's lost to Putintseva twice already.
Yeah, Michael Figgins, Big Hit Sports International, Michael Figgins, thank you very much for your picture you sent to us with you and Putintseva.
Ethan, I'll be waiting for those.
Very nice picture.
Bake whatever you want to do.
All right, bets are in. Moving forward, quick topic number 1. Here we go. Rafael Nadal whined and cried, in my opinion, about his draw placement before the draws came out. And lo and behold, ended up in the same spot he would have ended up in if the seeding didn't swap in the first place. Is this luck? Or is this giving in to someone with 18 Grand Slams whining? Is this the way of Wimbledon saving face? In other words, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a big to-do before the Wimbledon draws came out that Roger Federer had overcome Nadal's spot. Nadal whined and cried about, oh man, look at me, I went and made it to this round last year, look where he lost. I mean, And then all of a sudden, now if we don't know how draws work, generally the one player goes up top, 2 bottom, 3 up top, 4 here. Mm-hmm. Didn't happen. The 2 after the first 2 got flip-flopped.
Well, we've always seen this in Grand Slams where they put where they want to put. I mean, I don't know why he whined about it, but they might have given him the same side, but that draw does not look favorable for him at all.
No.
So I don't know if that was a curse, if they were trying to teach him a lesson for opening your mouth.
Yeah, so
I don't know if that was a favor for him.
So do we call that a good old peeing contest?
I don't know. I think he would have been better off being on the other side.
Did someone draw a line in it? Were there 2 lines drawn in the sand there? You know, we always say, you know, in quotes for eons of time, you know, never draw a line in the sand. You know, don't start a pee-pee contest. Saying that nicely.
Sometimes it works.
I think there was a whole lot of peeing going on here.
Sometimes
you know what I mean?
Works.
So if you look at Nadal's draw just real quickly, he gets a relatively straightforward first round match, but then he has to put up with Kyrgios. I think Kyrgios and Nadal played 6 times. I think it's 3-3 head to head.
Yes.
But the thing the problem for Nadal with Kyrgios is that Kyrgios just doesn't care in a sense, and that can be dangerous for Nadal because Nadal is such a perfectionist. You know, he's like straightening everything out. He's picking his butt. You know, he's doing his whole deal. And when someone rattles into that, he gets thrown off really easily. So he's very, I'm not going to say like OCD. Yes, I'm not a psychiatrist, but he's a perfectionist. And when he gets out of his perfectionist zone and someone is pushing his buttons and rattles
he doesn't
him,
like it.
He doesn't like it. And he tends to go away more rapidly, I guess you could say, and especially on the surface. I didn't even pick Rafael Nadal, if you listen to my fantasy team, in our fantasy team selections because of the potential loss to Kyrgios.
I think you're putting too much faith that Kyrgios even will get through Thompson. Thompson just made the Eastbourne semifinal, or was it the on two? I mean, I wrote it down. He just made a semifinal. So.
It's not that I think Nadal will win or lose.
Yeah, he just lost to Kekmanovic in the semifinals of Eastbourne.
Well, Kekmanovic is a fine player too, though. But anyway, back to the topic at hand before we go down a path with
Antalya, wherever that.
Yeah, the BNP Italia.
Yeah.
But Kekmanovic is a fine player, but forget about that. We spent the past 4 shows talking about the unimportance of the results and the lack of these tournaments, or the lack of the high quality players in these tournaments before Wimbledon, just after the French Open, right?
Yes.
So the dangerous aspect about Kyrgios is that he is dangerous because he is always in the unknown. He can play lights out, or he may just blow himself off the court and throw a chair. And because it's so open in terms of what does your opponent prepare for? Is he preparing for the chair throw, or is he preparing for, what is he preparing for? So it throws people off balance, right? So I'm just saying, I don't think the Kyrgios will lose, but I mean, I don't think Nadal will lose, but I didn't want to wager my entire team on that matchup. I think that match could go either way.
I think you give too much faith to Kyrgios. I mean, for all you know, is he can go in the first round facing a younger opponent than him, someone that they picked. Thompson was picked over him for the Davis Cup.
So here's a poll question, and a poll question, I'm going to write this, I didn't know this would come up. So a poll, at 24, like 40 or somewhere. Who wins in the hypothetical matchup? Who wins between, and don't answer this now, who wins in a hypothetical matchup in this year's Wimbledon between Rafael Nadal and Nick Kyrgios? If you had to bet something on it other than fun, like if you had $10 and you had to bet the $10 on it, who would you bet? Okay, and just leave it at that.
Well, they know who my pick would be.
Who?
I would pick Nadal, hands down.
24-40, bets are out. All right, so let's go. I forgot where I was at. I got wrapped up in the conversation.
You got up with the whole Kyrgios and Nadal match topic about the rankings.
Oh, okay, yes. I wrote it.
It's the hat. It's the hat.
Man,
it's consuming his brain.
Tripping, man. Got me all lost.
It's consuming the brain.
All right.
It's not Christmas yet.
Let's go. Thank you for bringing back to reality. Here we go. All right, yeah, I was totally lost. I forgot where I was at a point in time.
See, that's what happens when you talk about Kyrgios. He's not worth talking about him.
Appreciate you.
He's not worth it.
All right, enough with that. Next topic, and this is going to be a quick one. Gael Monfils and Svitolina have rejoined forces as a couple.
That's because they've been losing, and I think they're probably better together. They perform better on the tennis court, so why not? Let's try it again. Even though usually in relationships, if you fail the first time, don't try again. Because you're going to fail again.
Yeah, generally, if something happens so soon, it's destined to occur again, I guess. What is the old saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Even though I have taught an old dog new tricks before, it's just not quite as easy. You can get it done. You just have to, whip a piece of bacon out, before you could just say no. And now you have to have the bacon.
Maybe her coach told her, yeah, you better get back with him, yeah.
I mean, let's look at it real quickly though. Gael Monfils was on a real downturn in his career, and Svitolina had come off a little ankle tweak in a sense. Came back and they were both kind of hovering. They get together and hey, man, next thing you know, they're taking.
Svitolina was looking very sick, and when she got with him, she got stronger. Looked stronger.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're taking selfies with Roger Federer, and they're doing well. Split up, and there they go downhill again. But hey, right before Wimbledon, they pair back up. Is this what we call WOOGIS? Who gives a blank? My favorite acronym, WOOGIS. Who gives a bleep? Figure out the S. WOOGIS. Is this WOOGIS?
Good for them.
Does it matter? Could. It could.
Well, maybe Vekic needs the same thing because she really hasn't won much either. She's been losing some weird matches, so maybe.
Donna Vekic, by the way, when we look at draws, Donna Vekic could do well this tournament. She could. Okay. She's done better since her and Wawrinka split up.
Do you think so?
There's
a few matches she should have won, I thought.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I think there's positive energy with Svitolina and Monfils, and I think the overall it seems to be more on a negative side for me with Wawrinka and Vekic in terms of the correlation between high level tennis with or
probably because they started off bad.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
All right, enough about that. Quick topic number 3. I just jotted this quickly. I wrote the top half of the men's draw is extremely top heavy. I thought the bottom half was open for pretty much anyone. Just saying, especially just Roger Federer down there.
I agree with you. The top half is a lot stronger than this bottom half. Anything can happen. You can have so many seeded players go out in this where Nadal and Federer are.
Yeah,
it's so possible that a dark horse comes in through that one.
Yeah, so I had 6 of 8 of my men's players on the top half. 6 of 8. That shows you how indecisive I was about a lot of the matches on the bottom. Yeah. Check out the draws. Look at your fantasy team. See if you agree or disagree. Let us know. But not too much because, my picks are locked in. We can't change. Mm-hmm. So feel free. Let's roll. The next topic, real quick. Ashley Barty and her fitness level. Has she played too much, too soon, this far into the season at her young age? Is she going to be fit enough given what she's done so far this season to go deep at Wimbledon? I don't know. I don't know.
Think she'll win. I don't think she'll win. We know that one of the toughest things to do is win the French and then the Wimbledon. It's very tough just because they're so close together. I really have her losing to Belinda Bencic. I do, and I think she could lose before that. So I don't have her winning this title.
I have her losing to Belinda Bencic as well. Hence why I took Bencic on my fantasy team.
And she could lose to Muguruza, like you said. She could lose to a veteran Kuznetsova.
Yeah, I have.
What happened?
Yeah, I have Muguruza again. I did not choose Barty for this reason. Carla, didn't you choose Barty?
I just picked her on that thing, even though on my draw, if you look, I have Bencic winning and playing against Serena.
Yeah, no, I think I'm exposed with Sakari. I don't know why I chose Sakari, honestly, except she's just, she's an athletic, strong girl, and I felt like her draw would give her a few rounds.
I mean, if she
but
got
the women's is so hard to predict.
Lovina, then she can do something, but who knows? She's got Buskova, which is tough, or Bartel.
I mean, I came down to either picking Sakari or Sharapova, and I watched. Was it Bencic that just handled Sharapova the other day? No, Kerber. It was Kerber.
And they face off again.
Yeah, I mean, Kerber went through her. I almost picked up Kerber or Sharapova, but man, between Sharapova's big loss to Kerber the other day relatively quickly, and then the grunt, her streaks level index factor, on top of that, I couldn't hold it down. I already had Azarenka with a real high pitch wheel. So I didn't want two screechers on my team. I might blow my eardrums out. So I went with Sakari. Sakari or Sharapova is what it came down to, and I chose Sakari.
Okay.
All right. Next topic. Did we kind of wrap that topic up in a good sense about Barty? I mean, you feel like that...
I just think she'll be tired, yes. I mean, it's just a lot to do. French Open, and then to win Wimbledon, and on top of that, she's number one, so she has that pressure now. We know that anytime any woman... especially in this generation, they become number one, something happens to them.
Yeah, and
they can't quite keep it.
And the odds favorites, Las Vegas odds have Barty as the money favorite. I think it's at plus 155, or that might be.
Yeah, I know Wayne and Chia, thanks, by the way. He sent me earlier a message, and he did send me those odds. But yeah, Barty is
I think that's
the favorite to win.
Yeah, I disagree.
But I disagree with that. And then I think Serena was right behind her, and then even further away was Kerber.
And Osaka.
They were both tied.
Yeah, so I think this is a sucker bet. A lot of suckers bet money. A lot of smart bettors out there too, but most bets are for suckers. And I see this type of bet. To the novice, tennis fan, to someone that just wants to bet. Oh, this girl's won this and just won that, so she's destined to win this. One of the hardest things to do is the French Open Wimbledon double. We've talked about that before. Barty.
That's why I don't pick Nadal on the men's side.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah, the Barty thing, I don't think will happen. The Nadal thing, I just don't think will happen. And I wasn't willing to pick either. Again, I didn't pick Barty or Nadal. Period. Either one of them on my fantasy team. I left them both out. I do not have Nadal and I do not have Barty. Maybe I'll pay the price, but maybe not. Next topic, real quickly. Can Eugenie Bouchard win a few rounds? She has a relatively open draw. She
can win her first round against Sidan Sek. She could definitely do that. But then she has a young player, Qiang Wang. That's going to be tough. And I actually checked to see they're head-to-head, and Qiang Wang's up.
Yeah.
I think they played one time, and she's up.
Yeah, Eugenie Bouchard, don't forget, made the Wimbledon final in 2014. I think that was
I think that's forgettable.
Was that a Serena or a Kvitova final against her?
Kvitova destroyed her.
So she made it there nonetheless. However, my head with Bouchard is where it has been for a couple years. Where is her head is what my head wonders. She seems to be everywhere but on a tennis court. If she is, she's just wearing some skin-tight outfit to show off really not much of anything. She could really fill out a little bit for those type of pictures, in my opinion, so I don't think she's doing those pictures much justice. She can be a really good tennis player. She's got the build and height for it. Unfortunately, she's just too thin now, whereas she was much stronger when she spent actually more time training.
And I used to like her when she played back then, and I stopped liking her.
I did too.
I stopped liking her once I saw the dumb modeling. Instagram modeling to me is dumb.
All right, so can Eugenie Bouchard win a few rounds, Carla?
One round I give her.
Do you think that she has a chance at all of making it into the second week?
No, absolutely not.
Fair enough to say. I think a lot of this
There's a lot of tough players there. Mertens, Strykova. I mean, there's just too many tough players in that side.
Yeah.
You have Kvitova, you have Konta, you have Steve. It's just too many tough people on that side.
I agree with you totally. I do think that a lot of Bouchard's being there, given her hefty amount of, again, followers for non-tennis reasons, the looks or what she wears.
Let's be real. Guys who are desperate.
Yeah. What was that? Guys that are who?
Desperate.
Oh, okay.
They're desperate. They got to look at a picture and be pleased with
that. Yeah, but in my opinion, again, these are two non-related variables, that type of thing on the tennis court. I look at tennis as a battle. And nothing but...
I just don't see a fighter with her. When I look at her, I don't see somebody that's ready to battle it out.
Yeah, so I agree with that. And all of you, what do you think? Can Eugenie Bouchard possibly make the second week? All right, Carla, let's kind of wind down in a sense, and let's just glance at Notable first round matches quickly. Upset alerts if there are any.
I have a few.
Right, real quickly, what we did last year when we first started doing the show, we would go down every match, and sometimes we would go on for 2 and 3 hours. So we've always tried to get a little bit better and more understanding of your time. So what we want to try to do this year is just literally look at the first round, okay, and just the notable matches. Now, instead of us talking about all of them, Carla and I have come up with a few first round matches that are intriguing, hey, worth watching, that could end up in an upset, or whoever may upset someone could go farther and beyond farther, like way farther, right? Mm-hmm. But we want to leave the door open for you all to give us some intriguing matches of your own. So instead of going down every one, we'll list a few, and then in comments, you list a few, and then we'll see what happens on the next show, right?
Yes.
So let's just jump right in. Let's start with the women's side.
We'll start at the top.
Up top, and let's get our predicted draws. You already have yours. Let me grab mine. And again, Carla and I will always do predictive draws before every major, men's and women's. So we did this earlier. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of follow how we picked, and then we keep other draws to keep up with the tournaments as we go. So we keep our blank draws to keep up with everything, and then we kind of go off of our predictive as well.
Right.
All right, Carla, women's side, what you got up top? First round.
First round, I mean, I go all the way down. I don't see any upsets until we get to Leslie Ostarenko, your 32 seed. Barbara Strykova has beaten her many times, and I see that as an upset.
I almost took. Boom. That's a good match right there. On my predictive draw, point me out right here. Okay, here she is. I have Bertens. I have Bertens eventually meeting a Strykova, and Strykova maybe even winning that. Yeah. But that's too far. I'm jumping too far ahead. But I love that match right there that you just mentioned. Ostarenko and Strykova, first round. She gets an A+ score on that. We did not talk about these. We never do because we compete just like we were competing with you. It's all business when we do this. Great pick.
I'll give you the next one, though.
Great pick. Off the top, I'm not saying this upset will happen. I did pick Barty to win it, okay? But watch out for the Zhang, the Chinese girl, and Barty in the first round. If Barty is tired, she can be vulnerable here. Zhang won't have anything to lose. Again, I do think Barty will cruise, but it's notable.
It's notable, okay.
It's notable.
And then we have another one that I'm sure you mentioned, Sloane Stephens. I don't think she'll lose, but Basinski was once a great player, and she's had a lot of injuries. Timea Basinski from Switzerland. Could be, but I don't think so.
That's a
good match to watch.
That's another incredible call. I have a star next to that one as well. Same brainwave, another A+ selection. Basinski, in my opinion, is a little bit better on clay. And again, Timea Basinski, didn't she make like a quarterfinal or a semifinal at the French? I think back in the day.
I don't remember that.
I can't remember. We have to look it up. But I think so. Third round, fourth round, maybe better. I'll have to think about that one. Good match. What I want to see is how Kvitova on the bottom of the top half of the women's draw, how does she play? I expect her to win easily. It's notable simply because I have her winning this tournament, and I think it's notable to see how she plays getting her feet on grass right here in the first round of Wimbledon.
Also, watch out for Suarez Navarro facing veteran Stoja. Stoja could win that match. She could. She does better on grass than she does on her own turf.
Also, too, let's see how Kristina Mladenovic, the French girl, let's see how she does.
That's going to be a tough match. Yarchenko has had a good record on grass, too.
Yeah, and again, that's Sasha Bajin's new student, or at least a few months now. I'd like to see how Mladenovic reacts with maybe having to meet Kvitova in the second round. How about the bottom half? Any notable women's stuff?
For me, the number one that I put is I think Osaka will lose to Parima Putintseva. I think she will. I think she will. I even have her marked off. I said this is an upset, and Putintseva goes to the next round.
Okay, so you're calling it right off the bat. You're calling Osaka going down.
I have faith in Putintseva. I mean, she's beaten her twice. One on grass just recently, and another one I think it was on either clay or hard court. I'm not sure. I have to look. I wrote it down. I didn't put it here. But she's 2-0 up on her, and I just think Osaka, doesn't have as much confidence. New coach. She just lost her number one ranking. It's possible that a player that gets in your face can beat her again.
Yes, and I think Putintseva has beaten Osaka both times they faced. Is she 2-0? You might have just said that.
2-0, yes. Putintseva is up 2-0. Just beat her in a grass tournament.
So I think this is a defining moment for Osaka's career, and we'll get into that shortly. But it's a big match for Osaka. I don't really care with the head-to-head here. I think Osaka needs to ask herself, is this a defining moment for me, and where do I want my career to go? I selected Osaka on my fantasy team for the first time ever. She was a first-time placement on my fantasy team ever on the show. Mm-hmm. And I did it because I felt like she could do it. And I may fail miserably there, but let me get this straight though, Carla. If Osaka goes down in the first round and Serena wins the first round, Ethan Da loses his bet to you.
Correct.
Another notable match here on the bottom half that I think will be interesting to watch. Venus Williams, the 39-year-old who I like a lot, against a 15-year-old American, Corey Goff. I don't think Corey Goff will have a chance.
I don't think so either.
Unless Venus Williams is handing her,
unless she comes with her, that she does deal with something, unless she's tired. But I actually have Venus meeting Keys later on.
I do too. I have that as well. But don't expose your predictions because we're competing here. But I do have the same thing.
Yes. Another good one is Ostapenko beating Sai. I think Ostapenko.
That's a good match.
And I'm putting faith on her. I almost put her in my top group. But I think she could beat Sue Sai. I think she's done pretty good on grass.
I agree with that one.
I think it's time for her to start winning a few matches. I actually have her winning a few rounds.
Yeah, I have Ostapenko beating Sai in the first round, just to let the cat out of the bag. Well, Ostapenko, if I remember correctly, a semi-finalist at Wimbledon in 2018. We know she won the French in 17. I think I'm right there. All in all, for me, I'm just going to keep my eyes on Sakari because, again, I've never picked her on a fantasy team, so I'm interested to see how she plays on the grass against the American girl, Para. So we'll see how that goes down, but that's kind of, for me, there's more, but I'm interested.
Yeah, there's a few matches.
I'm interested to see what you say. What are some notable matches for you that you are going to be watching?
There's definitely another one. Camila Georgie always does well on grass. We'll face off a young Diana Yamstrenska. Good match to watch as well.
All right, notable matches in the first round, a men's top and bottom. For time reasons, we know we're going to be watching Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, etc. They're all notable. We're going to be watching them, obviously. But matches outside of that.
Here's a tough match in that first top half. Dusan Lajovic against Hubert Hurkacz. That is a first round. That's a tough match. Not a good draw for Lajovic. I wouldn't want to be facing Hurkacz. I actually have Hurkacz beating him.
I think that's a really, 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 really good match. That's in some of these other tournaments you expect to beat in the semis. This just goes to show you the depth of players, especially on the top half of the men's side. That's a big match right off the get-go.
That is.
Great pick right there. What about Gael Monfils playing the double specialist Ugo Humbert?
He's not the double specialist.
Oh, it's Herbert that's the double specialist.
No, that's a
okay, but either way, Monfils, either way. We talked about Svitolina and Monfils jumping back together, playing well, right? Monfils is someone that I always liked, kind of up there with the Berdiches and Tsongas, the shoulda, coulda, woulda won a major but never really did. They're so athletic, they're so tennis savvy, but they just never can cross the line. I want to watch Monfils and see if he has a shot here. So I think this will be a good indicator of how much Monfils is going to put into this tournament.
Well, there you have the Herbert who's facing the one that you were talking about, Kevin Anderson. That's going to be a test. We really don't know how Anderson's playing. Is he vulnerable? That could be a testing match for him.
Right off the bat, Tipsarevic, the veteran Janko Tipsarevic, taking on a feisty Nishioka, the Japanese player.
That should be a fun match.
Should be a fun match to watch there.
Another one we have is, I know Guido Pella is ranked 26, but to me that means nothing. He faces Copillo, which I have him actually going down to Copillo.
Last one, there's a lot of them in here. I want to see how Sasha or Alexander Zverev is going to do. And even though he has a relatively straightforward first round against a qualifier, if I were Zverev or a fan of Zverev, I would hope he wins this decisively. But I'm interested to see how Zverev is going to play, how deep he can dig.
He has the young Kevin Monovich.
How deep he can dig against any opponent in 3 out of 5 sets.
Yes.
Okay.
Next one I have is I actually have Dominic Thiem going down to Sam Querrey.
Ooh.
Sam Querrey on grass is a different story. He's beaten him before. He has the head-to-head lead. I have Dominic Thiem going out first round, and Sam Querrey actually going all the way to the 4th round.
So would you say that this is the potential biggest upset, or the biggest upset potential in the first round on both the men's and women's side, and that is TM going out against Sam Querrey?
No, that's not the biggest upset. I mean, TM's gone, the furthest he's gone is 4th round. I think Osaka would be a bigger upset.
Okay, so the biggest upset, Putin-Seva over Osaka. The second biggest upset would be Querrey over TM. Now, didn't Querrey make a semifinal at Wimbledon a couple years ago?
He has.
Or
Yes.
last
He
year,
does
whatever?
well. That's his best surface right there. And I think he could really win that match.
All right, moving forward. Okay, I'll do the next one. Let's go with, and I don't want to read all the obvious.
Well, here, Tiafoe and Fognini.
Yeah,
I have Tiafoe beating Fognini. There's no way Fognini's going to do well.
So here's where I wanted to kind of pause. We just spent so long looking at the first round matchups. We didn't even talk about the Wawrinkas in there, the Raynicks in there,
Well,
the
they should win
Kachanovs
those
in
first
there,
matches.
the Benoit. I think you mentioned Benoit Pierre, but I'm saying all the players. Look at the big seeds at the top half of the men's draw. Djokovic, Ajay Alicien, Hurkacz, Golbis is up there, who's got firepower. Monfils. Medvedev,
You got Dimitrov.
Goffin, Edmonds, Tsitsipas, Anderson, Herbert, Peya, Wawrinka, Raonic, Kachanov, Bautista Agut, Zverev, Kekmanovic, and the list goes on. I was puzzled on this top half, like, oh my. But then I get to the bottom half, and I'm like, chirp, 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 chirp.
Yeah.
It's like birds are chirping here. So, I mean, I don't know if you would call Fognini Tiafoe exciting.
No, it's not exciting, but Fognini doesn't do well on grass. And if you were betting or something, Tiafoe would be a good pick to win as your own seed if you do fantasy group teams.
I mean, who really outside of Roger Federer in this half it can reach out and take it? Kyrgios or Nadal, but they're going to square off in the second round.
Here you have a good match, Tsonga and Tomic. That's a good match to watch.
That's notable, but is it notable enough to see any of them in the second week? Maybe Tsonga, I guess. I mean, I guess. Maybe 8 years ago, I guess, maybe.
Well, what about Isner and Ruud?
Isner, no. You know my feelings on big servers. It's just...
No, I mean, you said he could possibly be upset.
Well, Casper Ruud, okay, it's notable, but I think all the matches we talked about in the top half, even first round and so forth, were duly notable.
Yeah, they're a lot more exciting.
But down here, it's just kind of like, man, I just don't...
You know, this is a big opportunity for any player. See, I have Berenti going pretty far.
I guess you could say notable. Cilic and Manarino, is that notable?
No.
Cilic, Manarino?
No. What about that? You got Baghdadis facing Struff. His last tournament.
Okay, that's notable.
Last tournament. That's going to be a good match.
That's notable. So Monfils wins or loses. It's his last. I mean, not Monfils, but Baghdadis.
Yeah.
If Baghdadis loses, it's his last. He's done. He's retired. I guess that's notable.
That's a good match.
It's notable.
You have Puig, Gasquet. I mean, Gasquet really has a losing record. Can he do something against Puig? Puig's beating what, Nadal?
Yikes, man.
Yeah, so this is not really...
Yeah, it's
Federer got a nice draw. Let's just say he's got... I mean, I don't think he's going to have problems with Puig, Coric, Berenti, Nishikori. He should have Isner, no problem to get through to the semifinals.
Bottom half's looking a little sluggish down there.
But that's what happened at the French Open. Same thing. We have one side where Nadal looks a little bit slower, and then the other side was,
I think...
Same thing. It got flipped this time.
Yeah, let's be real. Anybody on the top half has got a much less rocky road. There's no such thing as easy draws. They're all pros. But it's a little rocky.
Well, for the top one, the bottom half top, if anybody wants it, there's a big opportunity. Somebody like Cilic has a big opportunity to go far. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
This is Cilic's opportunity to get back to a final.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward, ending the show, 12 rapid-fire questions. If you're new to this channel, I will ask Carla and all of you 12 questions. You must answer them quickly. That means, Carla, you look at the camera. You cannot look at my questions. You must answer them rapidly. If you cannot, then we will pass to the next one. If you're at home, type in comments or answers. We always look at them once we get them. We were looking at people's answers just last night. A lot of good ones always. So here we go, 12 rapid-fire questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question number 1. Will Eugenie Bouchard win more or less than 2 rounds at Wimbledon?
Less than 2 rounds.
I'm going to give Eugenie Bouchard more than 2 rounds this Wimbledon. Call me crazy. Ostapenko, too. I almost picked Ostapenko, but I didn't. Question number 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to Grigor Dimitrov that he does well this Wimbledon when looking forward at his career?
1 being low, 10 being high, 10,
Yeah.
10.
So in other words, if he doesn't do well this tournament, then he might have a more grim outlook.
Yes.
Question number 3, I agree with that, 10. Question number 3, who wins the potential matchup between Nick Kyrgios and Rafael Nadal?
Nadal.
I'm going to take Kyrgios there.
I'm not even going to sweat that one.
Question number 4, as of right now, who honestly wins the final if Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer meet?
Federer. I will never say Novak, sorry.
We talked about this earlier in the show where I stand with that one. Question number 5. Between Victoria Azarenka and Maria Sharapova, who has a better shot this Wimbledon?
Azarenka.
Agreed. Question number 6. If you could choose between 2 players, one player being Stefanos Tsitsipas and the other player being Pete Sampras in his prime, and they played a match against one another, who would you take?
Sampras.
Agreed. Do you argue, or do you agree, do you agree, couldn't read my own writing, do you agree with the betting odds in Las Vegas that Ashley Barty and Novak Djokovic are the favorites to beat?
Nope.
Disagree. With Barty, not Djokovic. Question number 8. Rafael Nadal has a habit of running out on the court, jumping up in the air and whacking his head on
I
things
remember that. Yes.
prior to matches.
I remember against Gios Muller.
No, yeah, donked his head into the thing at Wimbledon and Muller beat him.
Yeah.
All right, the other day he
What
whacked.
happened to Muller? He's not in this.
Maybe he didn't get a wild card or qualifying. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Usually Muller's a shoe-in. That's a good. The GL's Muller.
Very good.
Okay.
paragraphs.
Anyway, back to the rapid fire questions. Rafa Nadal has a habit of jumping and running his head into things prior to matches, headboards on doorways and cameras, etc. Do you think he will ram his head again here at Wimbledon?
No.
Hope not. Number 9. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no correlation and 10 being a lot of correlation, Svitolina and Monfils getting back together as a couple and their level of tennis play. 1 being no correlation and 10 being high correlation.
10.
I'm going to give it an 8. I mean,
Okay.
I think they're.
I could pick in the middle. Yes.
I think they're a little bit. I think
All
it
right,
helps.
I'll give it like a 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, you can pick between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Question number 10. Would you agree that the most exciting bet so far that we have ever had on this show, Carla, the most exciting bet that we have is the bet between Rajesh Kumar and Margarita Martinez for the $100?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
I got
go.
one exciting, but someone didn't pay up.
Yeah, she won a tennis racket from someone. T talked about it for a month, and we still have all the messages. Hey, Carla, if Djokovic doesn't win the French Open, I'll buy you a new tennis racket of your choice. Even called him out on it. I hadn't heard from him since. Birds chirping. You got to pay bets. That's just the way it rolls. That's just the right thing to do.
Yes.
If you talk up a bet, make sure you can pay it.
And I wouldn't have been that expensive. I would have picked up an older racket that I like.
Yeah, Carla would have been like, no, if somebody find you a used one, it might be $10.
Yeah.
That's how Carla is.
Mm.
But he said it. She didn't say it. It came out of nowhere. But anyway.
Oh, I remember his name, but I won't say it.
Pay your dues. It's Kane Surjanovic. Kane Surjanovic. I remember the name.
Yes,
Don't-
from California.
You always remember bets.
Oh, yes.
Question number 11. Is this Roger Federer's last Wimbledon?
No. I think someone said it before. We had a viewer that said, he's playing so nobody passes his record, and I agree.
Well, I think that for one, but no, I think that Roger Federer wants to play the 2020 Olympics.
I think he'll keep playing so he can win more slams.
Well,
he
well,
doesn't want Djokovic passing him or Nadal.
But he wants the gold medal too. I've heard him say it.
Okay.
He would like another
He
opportunity
can
at the
still
gold
play.
medal.
He's at a high level.
So, in my opinion, it won't be his last. I think next year will be his last. So he can play Wimbledon. He can play Wimbledon and have one last shot at the Olympics and then be done. So I think next year Olympics, Wimbledon, it's over.
Yeah.
My thoughts. Question number 12. This is a big one. Will this Wimbledon define Naomi Osaka?
No.
In other words, if she doesn't do well, is this kind of
No,
where
she's
we're at
got
with
the
her?
U.S. Open. No. Mm-mm.
So this performance at Wimbledon will not define Naomi Osaka.
No. She's the defending U.S. Open champion. There's more pressure there.
All right, everyone, the bets are set. My throat is really dry.
It's probably from coaching a lot.
Yeah, we've been coaching a lot. We still have to go back out of the court today and coach, which I look forward to. And then we have a doubles match. that I still haven't. We play mixed doubles. I play with someone else, and she plays with someone else. I haven't lost.
We better win, Bear.
I haven't lost.
We better win. I'm tired of losing.
They can't handle the serve. They can't handle the heat. You know what I mean? When Carla and I play together, we never lose, but we're split on this one, and I never lose.
No, we have lost a few. Not that they really counted.
Yeah, well, playing around, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone, that's it. It's Wimbledon time. We can't wait. We will see you Monday, right? Monday after the first round is completed. Again, sometimes our shows will be late. In other words, we might get them done at 2 in the morning to get them in. But we will do our absolute best to get them in earlier than that, but sometimes they may go late. But Wimbledon is here. Good luck to all. Get your fantasy team selections in. Get your racket giveaway prizes in.
And Lisicki didn't make it.
Yes, my girl Sabine Lisicki did not make it through qualifying. She could be a lucky loser, though.
She better hope someone gets injured.
We will see. Much love to all of you. Please click like below. Please subscribe to our video. Please share our videos. Again, as always, so much thanks to all of you. Without you out there helping us keep going with topics and doing these fantasy team and prize giveaways keeps us all going here. Thanks so much to all of you. Without you, there is no us. So reciprocation of love coming back.
His voice is something.
Yeah, it hurts. Gotta go. Anyway, we will see you all on Monday. Have a great tournament or picking your fantasy teams and brackets for your tournament. Get your selections in. And we will see you on Monday. Be ready. Let's go.
Cheers.
As Carla always, it's cheers instead of adios.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.